So I'm a few weeks into this new type of content that I'm sort of swimming into with my channel here, where I'm talking more about AI and how it's not only disrupting many parts of our industry, but also providing both challenges and new opportunities for us to potentially start monetizing our music in new ways. But I felt it was important to make this video because I really want to let you know kind of the difficult position that I'm in and sort of the type of message that I'm really trying to get across to you guys and why it's so difficult for me to, even in this video right now, explain it. So as I've said in some of my previous videos, I do not believe we should be giving up on sync licensing, okay? Even though AI will disrupt our industry in sort of definitely unforeseen ways, it is way too early right now, as you're watching this video, to throw in the towel on sync licensing. So there's still plenty of time, there's still plenty of opportunities, and obviously, if you've already got the ball rolling, you're already working with a library, or you're basically about to start pitching your music to libraries, there is plenty of time and opportunity to essentially get a lot of your music out there into the TV and film world and start building up your catalog, build up those royalties. Because remember, even if AI comes into our industry and literally starts chipping away at our work, all of that music that got placed previously on TV shows will continuously air. Hopefully they will. You'll get those placements in TV shows that air, and those royalties can passively come to you every single quarter, hopefully for years and years and years. And I don't think TV is going away anytime soon. I'm certainly going to see, we're going to see an evolution of it, and there's going to be new ways for people to absorb and entertain themselves. But there is a large percentage of the population that likes TV, that's been watching TV their entire lives, and they're probably not going to be turning it off anytime soon. But the point of this video is to try to, again, explain to you the very delicate message that I want to present to you and why I think it's something that we really need to all start getting our heads around now before AI really starts doing its work on our industry. So as I said before, I want you to stick with sync licensing if you still feel that it's something that you're excited about and you feel there are still opportunities for you. And I think for most of you guys, that's still here, right? So on one hand, I'm saying stick with sync licensing because it's still an amazing avenue, plenty of opportunity, plenty of money to be made, plenty of TV shows and movies and commercials and video games that need placements. And on the other hand, not but and on the other hand, we shouldn't get too married to TV film sync licensing. When I first got sucked into the AI wormhole, I definitely felt that part of my identity was being threatened by this technology because for so many years, I had seen myself as a TV film music producer, right? A sync licensing music producer. Many of you guys probably see yourselves as a music producer for TV shows, for video games, for commercials, for film, right? And because we've been doing this for so long and thinking about it for so long, we actually got our identity and ego kind of tangled up in it. And it becomes actually part of our identity that we think, well, my job is to make music for a TV. And therefore, if a machine can come and do that, am I just obsolete? Like thinking back when I got started, I remember all I wanted to do was make music and I wanted to make a living doing it. Okay. And I explored many different ways to do it, trying to be a featured studio musician, trying to get deals with record labels, trying to sell my songs to artists. I just wanted to make a living doing the thing that I loved the most, which was making music. TV film sync licensing just sort of happened to be the avenue that presented itself to me early on in my career, thankfully. And it happened to be the one side that was constantly giving me checks and contracts and showing me that there was a path forward with it. So I just followed that path. But I didn't, from my early days of, making music at 12, 13 years old, say to myself, I'm doing all of this because I want to make music for TV. At least that wasn't part of my sort of inner dialogue. It wasn't part of my story I was creating. I really just wanted to express myself creatively with music. Now, here's a really cool mental exercise that I was doing recently that really freed me up from that identity that I had really kind of become married to. Imagine for some reason, every single TV show, movie, commercial, video game got wiped out from the planet Earth. We just didn't have any more content to enjoy in terms of the traditional entertainment formats that we all know. Would you stop making music? Would that be a sort of okay, well, I've lost my function. There's no more TV shows, there's no more movies. I guess my creative desire is just gone. No, right? And I was thinking about this for myself. I was like, no, because that's just where that's where I was serving my music. But if all that just disappeared and I was no longer a viable option, I'm still a creator, right? I'm still a music creator. I'm still a creative human being. And I think you would describe yourself the exact same way. So, with that thought exercise, I want to bring in this new idea that while we should be very grateful and thankful for TV film sync licensing and really pursue it to the best of our ability in the meantime, don't get so married and short-sighted about it that you literally are almost thinking about it in terms of, it's a couple of little pebbles of gold on the ground, which of course, gold, take it, right? It's an amazing opportunity. Go get it, right? But if you're only looking at the ground of these pebbles of gold, you might not realize that just off there on the horizon is just a mountain full of diamonds. Sorry, yeah, that analogy is probably a little too poetic. Now, exactly what business model is that mountain full of diamonds? I have no idea, guys. Nobody really knows what this new paradigm is going to offer us. But I got my eye on the horizon. That's what I'm looking at right now because I do feel that we need to be the people that start to keep our eyes open to this thing. Again, I said this before, 9 toes, keep them in sync licensing, just one pinky toe, dip it out. Go into the world of looking around, being curious, maybe discovering a whole new industry, a whole new world, a whole new way of creating music or monetizing your music that will make these little pebbles on the ground, which you've been very grateful for and very excited for, look like pebbles on the ground. So I hope you're taking from this video the fact that I am not being ungrateful for TV film sync licensing. I mean, it's the only reason why I was able to do music full time. So I will always be praying to the technology gods and thanking them for this ability to be able to create income with my music. And I know those of you that have done well with this business or you're starting to see some of the fruits of your labor come into you, you're also very grateful too. So this is all about gratefulness, okay? So we are not sort of shoving aside something just because something more shiny is off on the horizon. That's really not what I'm trying to say here. I'm just trying to say we should not be so short-sighted. And this is something that I have been personally guilty of, okay? So this is me confessing that up until recently, I was not really curious or open about AI and what it could potentially offer us. I just saw it as a potential threat, as something that either was not that relevant, not that good, and I just kind of put it way over there and I put a blinder up. And I don't want to make that mistake anymore. And I see some musicians and producers doing that right now. And I do fear that those are the producers that will not see that diamond filled mountain, right? So hopefully, if you're watching this video, you can kind of start to see why just being curious and open about this stuff could potentially pay off for you massively in the long run. And very, very, very important, next week, my next Music 2.0 podcast episode is going to be my personal presentation, my overview on the history of recording technology, audio and music recording technology, and how every single time we have a new paradigm shift where this technology sort of blossoms and gets dumped in our laps, it always creates, number one, more access to music creation, more ways to monetize our music, and more importantly, additive demand for music and not a replacement. Okay, so I'm going to show you some amazing insights, some graphs, some data, some real numbers to hopefully prove to you why I feel very hopeful about the future and why I feel that AI will be no different than any other technology revolution we've gone through and how it's going to create abundant opportunity for us as music creators. So make sure you do subscribe to this channel so you don't miss out on that next week. And here's the promise I'll give all of you guys that are subscribed to this channel and to everybody in Sync Academy and anybody that follows me in any way online. The day that I feel that getting involved with TV film sync licensing through production music libraries is no longer viable or threatened so much by AI that it's really not a good use of our time anymore, I'll come right onto this channel, I'll make another video, and I'll let you guys all know that that's where my honest opinion is. Okay, I do not want to be leading you guys down a path that I personally don't feel is viable. That's very unethical. I won't be able to sleep with myself at night. So I don't want to do that to you. So I will definitely make that promise to you right here, right now on this video that I will definitely let you know when it's no longer probably the best option for us as music creators. But don't worry, that day is not today. From my latest research in the AI space, I believe we're still probably 2 to 5 years away before some very disruptive AI music creation technology comes in and potentially starts threatening a lot of the way that we do business, okay? So that's plenty of time to still build up your catalog, still work with those libraries, and again, get those placements out on TV and start generating that revenue that can continuously last into many, many years in your future. Again, even if AI starts to creep in and take little parts of our business, all that music that's already generating income and royalties through TV is going to continue, I believe, generating those royalties as long as those TV shows are airing. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope that I was clear on why this is sort of a tricky message that I'm sort of trying to inject into this conversation. And I know that many of you are not sharing my optimism, not sharing my hopeful vision for the future. And I want to honor that in those of you that are feeling that way. And just know that I probably share a lot of the same fears and concerns that you do. So you're not crazy and you're not just like a wet blanket. You really are concerned for your future, for your rights, for your ability to be expressive and creative. And of course, we're all struggling with this new paradigm that's basically coming into our world. So I want to honor everybody and all of your opinions on this, no matter what side of this debate you fall on. And I just want to remind you guys to please continue to be respectful with each other. I want to make sure that this conversation stays healthy. We can disagree with each other. We can feel one way or another about any of these topics. But when we start to fight, get divisive, and really start to, get entrenched in our own little camps, that's when things really start to get sour and it gets way harder than it really needs to be, because this is already difficult enough, right? Why don't we try to sort of remind ourselves that we're all human beings and we're all in this together. We're all trying to navigate this whole new world. So I would really appreciate all the comments and all the just amazing insights, and also the great articles and stuff you guys have been sending me, emailing me, and commenting. That stuff really helps inform me about what's interesting to you and actually what's happening out in this world. Because as you know, there is so much to keep your eye on as this new technology develops so quickly. And now it's your turn. I want to know from those of you that have had a slight change in opinion to leave that comment below. Maybe you went from something more optimistic and hopeful about AI to slightly more skeptical, more pessimistic. I want to hear about that. Or maybe you did the reverse. You were a little bit more pessimistic, a little bit more, I don't know about this. And now you see some new revenue opportunities, some more opportunities to expand your creativity. And maybe there's something specific, some specific tool or news story you came across that gave you that. If you've had any change in your opinion, that's what I really want to hear from you below in the comment section. So please do leave that, and hopefully that'll be some great fodder for us to make some new videos on this channel soon.